everyone, last week I uploaded some of my vintage tags and I had some requests to show a tutorial on those tags, and most of those requests were for this blue one here. So I'm going to show you how I made this. I'm going to change the colours and I'm going to change the image on it, but everything else will be the same. Okay, so the first thing I did was the background, which as you can see is a dry embossed background using a Cuttlebug folder. So I've gone ahead and I've cut a piece of cardstock that is, it's smooth white cardstock, and I've got the Deb Divine Cuttlebug folder, which I'm going to use in my big shot now. The cardstock measures in centimetres, it's 15 by 8. I'm not sure what that is in inches, sorry. I'm just going to try and do this, which is quite difficult with a camera in front of you. Okay, right, I'm just going to get the big shot out of the way now. So the finished piece now is embossed with that pattern. Seems to have got a bit of ink on there, but it's okay. And the next thing you need to do is to take some Glimmer Mist to colour this. So the colours I've chosen for this one, I've got 4 colours. I've got the sand, the huckleberry, the creme de rouge and the dewberry. So you just need to give your Glimmer Mist a bit of a shake or a twirl, and how much you put of each colour depends really which of the colours you want to be predominant. I tend to start with the lighter colours and then work up to the darker one, which in this case is the dewberry. So then the last colour here, and that's quite dark, and then you can come back with some other colours if you wanted to, just to make them a little bit more dominant in the picture. Okay, and then I would leave that to dry. Obviously I'm against the time here, so I have done one already that's dried, so I'm going to take that to one side and show you the one. This is the one that has now dried, okay, and is really nice and shimmery. And the next thing I did was to take my punch, which will do the tag corner, and make sure it's lined up straight, and the opposite one there. So I made it into the tag shape, and then I took the Tim Holtz Distress Tool. Now, to save some time, I've already done 3/4 of this, so I'm just going to do the top edge and parts where the punch has just shaped it. And then the next stage was to take some distress ink, so I used the walnut stain and just sponge this around the edges of the tag, making sure that you're getting all the white parts that you've exposed with the distressing tool there. Now, I have actually torn this card a little bit, but I'm not too bothered because I want a distress look, and I can always cover it up with one of the flower embellishments anyway, so I'm not too bothered about that. And then I'm also going to bring the ink in just a little bit from the edge, and just sort of in a couple of random places there. And straight away you can see how it's taken off the freshness of the Glimmer Mist colours, and it's starting to make it look a little bit darker, a little bit more grunged and distressed looking. Okay, so there we are so far. The next thing that I did was to take some of the gold Rub and Buff. So this is the gold leaf colour. It comes in lots of different colours, but this is the one I used. And basically I put a tiny little bit of the stuff onto my fingertip, and you can see it is a very, very small amount. and what you want to do is very, very lightly come in over the raised areas and add some of that gold on. And it doesn't really matter if it goes onto areas that aren't raised. As long as you use a very, very small amount, you shouldn't have any problems with this stuff. It's very easy to use. And this again adds more of an aged look to your tag. So you continue like that until your tag is completely covered. To save a little bit of time, I've got one here that I've already finished, and I've put the gold all over it. Okay, so the next thing you'd need to do, if we go back to the original tag, you need to decide which image you'd like to use. Now, this image here is by a company called Paper Whimsy, and the image I'm going to use again is by Paper Whimsy, and I've already cut this one out. Seems to have got a bit of gold on it, but that's okay. I've cut this image out, ready to go, and I've already sized it up. And what I tend to do when I'm choosing the colours, because I chose the image first and then the colours, I don't know whether you can pick up, but on the bow, there's a little bit of pinks, which is why I did the pinky colour, and there's some sort of dark blue, and the huckleberry, although it's a different blue, was the same kind of tone as that. She's got a little bow and a hair of the same colour as well, and the sand is the same colour as the book and the girl's hair. So that's how I picked my colours out. I tried to look for particular colours on an image. Well, the other way around, if I've already sprayed my card, I'll try and find an image that's got the colours that I've already sprayed. So I know where my image needs to go, and I need to add the little flowers. Now the flowers are from the Prima E-line collection. This is the collection here. And basically what I did is to take the flowers and paint them with my Cosmic Shimmer watercolours. So here's two, and here's another one. And I've gone ahead and started to paint the flowers. So for the larger ones on here, you'll see there's two large ones, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4 of the darker colour ones. So the two larger ones, I've started this one and I've painted it with this colour, which is the Frosted Mallow, and I did the same with this one, and then went over the top with another colour, which is the Violet Frost. So I'm going to finish off the second one. I've already added a little bit of water in here, which is what you need to do to get it to a nice creamy consistency. So you need to give it a really good mix in, and once you've got it nice and creamy and fairly thick, then you're ready to paint with it. So very, very randomly, leaving some of the pink. Okay, and there's no technique in this whatsoever, it's just until you're happy with what colours you want, and I do want to see both the pink and the Violet Frost there. Then if you look at the flower next to the tag that we've done, it's still quite bright. I don't know if it's picking up that well, but it is fairly bright in comparison to our background, and it's too bright for a vintage background. So there's a couple of things you can do here. Go back to the Distress ink, the walnut stain. You do need to wait till your flowers dry, so I'm not going to attempt it on that one just yet. And take your vintage photo Distress ink and just go ahead and randomly add some of that ink all over, and especially at the edge of those petals there. And I'm probably going to be out of time already, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to go on to a part 2 of this video. Okay, back soon. Bye!